Hey, my name's Dennis at Credit Firm Inc. here in Midland, Texas, and I'm sure by now you've heard about the breach with Equifax and millions of Americans' personal information are now in the hands of people with bad intentions, obviously, right? Or they want to taken it. Let's get a local spin on this. I apologize. First of all, I feel like I should have probably put a blog out on this 2 days ago. I've gotten a lot of calls from the clients. So I have put out a blog on Facebook, and I've sent everybody a link on their text message to get you guys up to par. But I'm going to add a video to this too, because some people just don't like to take time to read the stuff. Of course, we got a lot of disasters going on lately with the fires on the West Coast, all the hurricanes and the scare, and then in the middle of it, our identity has been exposed. And just like any disaster, we need to prepare. And just like any disaster, this could be potentially a life-changing event. However, unlike other disasters, this is not something that just simply rebuilds or goes away when the storm passes. Unless you're changing your identity, and I haven't heard of them giving out free new Social Security numbers or date of births. Unless you're changing that, this is a problem that could haunt us for years to come, right? So here's some ways this can affect you. These thieves can obviously get a hold of your credit, your social, your date of birth. These are indicators that they need in order to obtain new credit, right? Got it. We understand that, and as a result, if we don't catch this, we've got all this new debt out there in our name, and it's a nightmare trying to clean it up. However, they can also use this information to get into your personal accounts. There might be enough identification information there to do exactly that, move some money around. Equifax finally responds to this with a portal that they've set up for everyone, basically giving them free credit monitoring. And what that means is it allows you to check your credit from a day-to-day basis to see if anybody is abusing your information, that it's obtaining credit with your identification, right? All that's great. The problem is that just covers buying power. That just covers if somebody's trying to get credit in your name. And also, they're only giving it away for a year. This ain't a year problem. The thief that has your information still has your information 10 years from now, right? So, so to me, it's a temporary solution, and it doesn't cover the accounts that are going to be breached as a result of this. All right, just a ton of things that can happen as a result of this. It's pretty spooky. Now, and then what they did was, if you read through the legal jargon, which I've got on the link, if you read through the legal jargon, you're basically agreeing, by agreeing to the 1-year free monitoring, you're agreeing not to join in on any class action lawsuits against these guys or any personal lawsuits. And if you do, in fact, get hacked now or in the future, guess what? You've just written away your rights to try to get some kind of compensation that otherwise could be devastating to your financial life. All right? I wouldn't recommend doing the deal. I think there's some better alternatives. Here's what we can do. You can go to a free app. Hell, there's a free app called Credit Karma. It's free. It doesn't expire in a year. It will alert you as soon as somebody inquires on your credit, or as soon as there's some changes. So if all of a sudden I'm alerted that somebody inquired on my credit and it wasn't me, guess what? I'm picking up the phone, I'm calling, I'm intercepting that deal. And that deal's dead. The theft is, and we caught the thief in the act, and he goes to the next one, right? It also shows me any other kind of changes. If something does in fact pop up, it gives me an opportunity to take care of it then, as opposed to finding out much later, and then it's a whole other nightmare. Again, that's just a good alternative to the Equifax monitoring that they're offering. Okay, that's not a good alternative. That's not going to do anything to protect us, protect our checking accounts, our savings, our accounts with the credit unions, our retirement accounts, any online accounts that again, we use this information as different indicators for security reasons, right? So this is what I want us to do. First off, do an inventory of everything that you have. Again, every sort of account that you have, online accounts, even Amazon account that you might do some business online, anything that you do. Find out what kind of securities are put in place above and beyond verifying social, date of birth, address. In other words, there needs to be some layers of security on top of what you currently have. I would hope every financial institution in America has tightened up as a result of this. All right, so we need to ask them. You know, is it a PIN number? Is it a series of personal questions that only I would know the answer to? Is it the cool little feature that sends a PIN number to your phone and it always changes and you got to put in the new identification number as you go through? I don't know, but we need extra layers of security on any of these things that could affect you. Okay, and so do that. I would do that first thing. If these guys do not have not been proactive and don't have these extra layers of security, get your assets and money out of that and go into somebody that it does. Period. All right. This is not something that's going to pass 8 months from now and whoo, we skirted by that one. No, this is something that could go to sleep on you, and then 5 years later it shows its ugly face. All right, so make this a lifestyle change. The other thing I want you to do is look at your accounts. Look at the transactions in your accounts. Each one of your debits, monitor. Make it a habit and a lifestyle change that includes monitoring your expenses. Look, 3 years ago, and maybe it was 4, I don't know, I had we got hit. And there was a fraud coming out of my account, but it was coming out at a very small amount, enough to where I really didn't pay any mind to it. And I remember questioning, what the heck is that? I'll check it out later. 18 months later, it was fraud the whole time. It was small enough to where it didn't, I didn't stop in the middle of my day to take care of the issue. But man, over 18 months, it turned into quite a bit of money. And listen, on a broad scale, these scam artists are likely to do that. Hit a bunch of accounts on small amounts, people are less likely to start knee-jerking, right? I don't know. So just due diligence, monitor, get a monitoring company to help protect your credit. Call every one of these finance companies and people you do business with and accounts, and find out what other levels of security they have on top of your normal identifiers, and monitor your day-to-day information. Okay, I hope this helps. Don't panic. I mean, given the fact that the thief is still going to have your information 10 years ago, and I'm telling you not to panic, right? Don't panic. Just make this a new part of your life. Some of you guys already do this, some of you don't, but make this part of your life, and as long as you're doing your due diligence, you'll be able to intercept and stop anything like this from happening. I hope this helps. Give us a shout if you have any other questions. Thanks.